Hi, researchers. Across this part of the unit, you've been studying your second animal and you've been taking notes thinking about your text structures. And the truth is, I've been calling you readers and researchers, but you're also writers. And the best readers in the world of nonfiction don't just pay attention to what they're learning, but they also think about how the author is teaching them the information that they're learning. So today I want to teach you that it's important that we think about not just what we're learning in a text, but the choices that the author is making. And sometimes they might do that because they want to teach us some specific information. They also might be using a particular text structure to teach, and we can think, why are they using that text structure? They might also be really intentional about where they're putting the information in their text. Maybe it's in the beginning, maybe it's in the end. So let's try this from a text that we already know, that text, Frogs and Toads. And as we look at this text, let's be thinking about the choices that the author made. And if I think about the beginning of this text, like in and out of water, I'm already thinking about like the illustrations that are here. I feel like the author might be doing that to get our attention, to get us pretty excited. In and out of water. Frogs and toads belong to a group of animals called amphibians. An amphibian is an animal that can live on land and in the water. Most amphibians spend the first part of their lives swimming like fish. As adults, they can move about on land, so they spend less time in the water. Adult amphibians breathe with their lungs. They also breathe through their skin. Amphibians are cold-blooded. Their body temperature does not always stay the same as ours does. They are as warm or cold as the air around them. So I'm thinking about this, and like frogs and toads, and this whole section seems to be about amphibians, not even specifically about frogs and toads. And so maybe this section is really showing that the author wants us to show that frogs and toads are more similar than they are different, that they're both amphibians. I could also think that this is in the beginning of the text, and maybe the author wants us to learn a little bit about where they live versus how they live. So I'm going to keep looking at a section that you already know from another part from the last session from Frogs and Toads the other day. Can you be asking yourself, not just what is this about, but why did the author choose to write it in this way? Frogs and toads are important. They eat harmful insects that could destroy crops or carry diseases. Unfortunately, there are fewer frogs and toads than there used to be. Some people think the reason is that houses and factories have been built where frogs and toads used to live. Other people think that water pollution has killed most of the frogs and toads. So right now, can you be thinking to yourself, not just what are we learning, but can you also be asking, why might the author have chosen to write this? And this section comes at the end of the book, so why would they put it at the end? What are some of the different text structures that are there, and why might they use that text structure? Can you pause the video right now? Can you think about that? Maybe talk to someone if someone's near you, and then come back. Okay, welcome back. So researchers, it could have been that maybe you were thinking that the author wanted us to know that the frogs and toads are disappearing and this is a serious problem and they wanted us to pay attention. And maybe they put that at the end because they wanted that to stand out. Or maybe they put it at the end because they wanted us to do something that might help protect the frogs from dying, and there was almost like telling us to do something, a call to action. So readers, today I left you with one more thing that we can be thinking about in our research. But I don't just want you to be thinking about the information that you're learning. I also want you to think about the choices that your author was making, because that author is definitely giving you that information for a reason. Right now, could you think about what your plan's going to be? Can you think what subtopic do you need to research? And what are you using to take notes? Okay, happy researching.